But what stands out the most, she said, is the comically large balloon breasts that were plastered all over the news this week. Little bit of a eye candy for you, if you don't mind. Imagine all this happened because he didn't pay. The leak came from the inside. It was the roster leaking it. Why are we praying? Praying for what? Praying that they get marriage counseling? Guys, he's getting off to this as we're speaking. This is crazy. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Radio here, and we are back with another video. We got a little doozy for you guys today. Something very interesting happened. I don't know if you guys are familiar with our former Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, but there has been a recent leak regarding her husband in which he is appearing to wear fake breasts. Okay, I can get through this. In which it appears that he is wearing fake breasts and he's into something called bimbofication. Before we get into anything, let's just get a recap of the whole story, shall we?
Photos obtained by the Daily Mail show the husband of now former Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem wearing what look like fake breasts, and all of it raises security concerns about potential blackmail attempts and vetting procedures, or the lack thereof, by the White House and Congress, in what the family of Kristi Noem seems to be saying is a shock and an embarrassment. Let's go to CNN's Tom Foreman. Tom, tell us more about this story.
Well, Jake, this news about Bryon Noem is ricocheting all over D.C., and so are the pictures as they appear.
I do like the angle of security concerns. That is actually, oh my God. I didn't even notice the picture was up. Okay, while you guys are enjoying that, I wanted to say it is very interesting that there are a lot of security concerns, because that's real. If this just leaks through the Daily Mail, imagine what they can find and blackmail our government officials with, and what kind of influence some bad actors can have across the board. I'm not saying everybody has I'm not saying everybody has this type of skeletons in their closet, but if there's anything about your private life that you don't want public, this is a very bad sign that anybody, not anybody, but somebody could access this type of material, either put it out there or blackmail you or do God knows what. So yeah, it's hilarious, but it is a little concerning.
Appeared in the Daily Mail would show him dressed in costumes with extremely large breasts. This is the husband of Kristi Noem, who less than a month ago was fired from her job as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security for President Donald Trump. She is now a special envoy appointed by Trump as part of a security initiative aimed at combating drug cartels. The New York Post says a representative for the Noems said Kristi Noem is devastated by this news, and her family was...
Do you guys think maybe they had a heads up that Daily Mail had this, so Trump kind of demoted her and put her down a couple pegs, just so if when this comes out, it's not really as big a deal as if she was the secretary? There were those other stories about her overspending and the ad campaign and the alleged affair. And I think if you really think about everything in totality, I do think that it's not out of the realm of possibility that somebody had give them a heads up about all this from way earlier, because they got her out like last month. It's entirely possible that they knew something like in this magnitude was going to happen.
Blindsided by it. There is no indication that this had anything to do with her dismissal from Homeland Security, and the Mail says Trump told them he is surprised by the family's statement about Bryon's behavior. They confirmed it, the Mail says. Trump's, well, wow, I feel badly for the family. If that's the case, that's too bad.
You can't trust anything these people say. I mean, I understand this is CNN, but come on now. They can be saying whatever. It doesn't matter.
I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about it. That's too
bad. But I just know nothing about it. Of course,
Bro, that's what you say when you're lying about something. What are we talking about here? I'm leaning towards they definitely put me in the conspiracy theory camp. But if you're running the government of America and you don't know something like that's happening, come on now.
This is precisely the kind of matter that security experts have long said must be ferreted out during the confirmation process for cabinet members, because it presents such an obvious target for bad actors who might want to blackmail or leverage that information against Kristi Noem. Undoubtedly, there will be a lot of questions from Congress now about why the White House seemingly knew nothing about this, or if it did know, why it went ahead with Noem's confirmation in the first place. CNN has reached out to Bryon Noem for comment and has not heard back.
Oh, this is the Daily Mail article, and we're going to kind of read through it a little bit, see what kind of details we can fish out of here. Secret double life of Kristi Noem's cross-dressing husband, Bryon. The pouting, busty bimbo photos and trove of explicit messages. Kristi Noem's husband is today revealed as a secret cross-dresser who dons gigantic fake breasts and pink hot pants to chat with online fetish models. Imagine being that online fetish model and you have no idea who this guy is, but he's paying good. He's paying good. And then all of this comes out. What a twist. Your world will be upside down. While his wife operated at the highest echelons of government, handling matters of national security in her recent role as Secretary of Homeland Security, Bryon Noem, 56, has been dressing up and paying adult entertainers to talk dirty. The Daily Mail has reviewed hundreds of messages involving 3 women from the bimbofication scene, where porn performers transform themselves into real-life Barbie dolls by pumping colossal amounts of saline into their breasts. Bryon has lavished praise on their surgically enhanced bodies, confessed his lust for huge, ridiculous boobs, okay, and even made indiscreet remarks about his 34-year marriage to Kristi. Our investigation can exclusively disclose. Bravo, Daily Mail, for this investigation. Bravo. Give it up for them. Doing the Lord's work here. National security experts consulted by the Daily Mail said his brazen behavior could have left the 54-year-old MAGA favorite who oversaw ICE's aggressive crackdown until she was removed from her position on March 5th, vulnerable to blackmail. Okay, that's what we were talking about earlier. Here's another, just so you guys can enjoy it. Little bit of eye candy for you, if you don't mind. If media organization can find this out, you can assume with the highest degree of confidence that a hostile intelligence service knows this as well, warned former officer Mark Polymeropoulos. Okay. In a selfie shared with one of his online contacts, Bryon, an insurance mogul, can be seen squeezing into a flesh-colored crop top and skin-tight pink shorts. The father of 3 appears to have stuffed 2 balloons inside his shirt to resemble breasts, positioning the knots to mimic nipples. That's hilarious. Oh my God, I didn't even notice the pants. My eyes were up here. Sorry. Bryon Noem supported his wife last month by sitting dutifully beside her at a congressional hearing, scrutinizing her aggressive immigration enforcement tactics. Another photo showed the rancher and the businessman wearing figure-hugging green leggings and a white top, stretched over 2 bulging orbs, with his face clearly visible in both images. Bryon pouted playfully at the camera, seemingly unconcerned that his online activity could pose security implications for his wife's position at the heart of Trump administration. Texts and WhatsApp messages revealed Bryon was being repeatedly asked for money during the 14 months his wife led the nation's largest federal law enforcement agency. He sent his secret roster. He had a roster. It wasn't even like 1 or 2. It's a roster. He sent his secret roster of online acquaintances at least $25,000 via Cash App and PayPal. But when payments were delayed or failed to materialize, the chats would quickly turn sour. One of the women became so disgruntled, she posted about his behavior on social media before later deleting it. Dude, that's crazy. Imagine all this happened because he didn't pay. It's not even the leak came from the inside. It was the roster leaking it. That would be crazy. Jack Barsky, a former Soviet spy turned U.S. counterintelligence asset, told the Mail the potential for blackmail was alarming. It's astounding somebody whose spouse is at that level has that kind of bad judgment. True. Oh my God. Oh boy. This is nice, huh? It's great. Oh boy. And he's doing duck lips. Great. Just great. Oh my God. All right, we'll get there. Polymeropoulos a CIA veteran of 26 years, agreed. Damaging information like this can be a tantalizing lead for a hostile intelligence service. They approach the person and say, if you work with us, we won't expose this. And if you don't, we will. That's espionage 101. When the Daily Mail reached Bryon Noem by telephone, he did not deny having explicit conversations or sharing photos of himself dressed as a woman. It was also put to him that he had made indiscreet comments about his wife and could have endangered national security by exposing her to the threat of blackmail. Yeah, I made no comments like that. That would lead to that. Okay. I denied the second part of that. He then hung up. Mrs. Noem is devastated. A spokesman for the former secretary told the Mail the family was blindsided by this. They asked for privacy and prayers at this time. He's not dead. They ask for privacy and prayers. He's alive. He's fine. You guys gotta chill out. Yeah, they had a marriage. Let's look at the picture. Ooh. Look at the leggings, bro. So fucking crazy. Yeah, blah blah blah. Some other. Wow, big wow, huh? What a turn of events. This is from Out Magazine or Out.com. Sorry, this is from Out.com. Kristi Noem's husband accused of living double life as busty bimbo cross-dressing fetishes. Oh, this part right here. Noem has built a national profile in part through support for policies restricting LGBTQ plus rights, particularly those affecting transgender people and gender expression. As governor of South Dakota, she signed a Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Critics said enabled discrimination, approved the ban on transgender girls participating in women's sports, and backed restrictions on gender affirming care for minors. Cross dressing is not inherently considered queer or trans. Dem notes that understanding is widely reflected in medical and advocacy guidance, which distinguishes gender expression, such as clothing or presentation from gender identity or sexual orientation. I got a little. Who's them? Oh, there's another. This is them. Okay, this is part. All right. From them.us. Obviously, we're not here to condemn cross dressing at them or anyone exploring their gender presentation. However, we would be remiss to not point out the irony of the report, given Kristi Noem's long history of opposing queer and trans rights. Cross-dressing is not inherently considered queer or trans, as exploring your gender presentation ultimately has no gender. But the report does come after years of Kristi Noem attacking anyone playing with their gender presentation or otherwise. The former governor of South Dakota signed a Religious Freedom Restoration Act that allowed people to discriminate against LGBTQ plus in her home state under the guise of religious freedom, banned trans girls from participating in women's sports, and banned gender affirming care for trans youth, just to name a few of her anti-LGBTQ plus policy points. Not to mention her leadership of immigration and custom enforcements, conduct mass deportations and what advocates have called state-sponsored kidnapping, including that of vulnerable LGBTQ plus migrants such as Andri Hernandez Romero, a gay Venezuelan asylum seeker who was sent to CICAT, a notorious prison in El Salvador. Everyone, including Bryon Noem, should be free to explore their gender. But if Kristi Noem got the world that she actively is fighting for, no one would ever get to do that, including cisgender people with bimbofication fetish. Oh man, this is crazy. This is just insanity. All right, this is from New York Post. Kristi Noem's husband paid model $25 a minute for dirty. That's fucking cash, brother. 10 minutes is $250. That's cash money, baby. As she reveals his unusual kink. Kristi Noem's cross-dressing husband, Bryon Noem, paid online models up to $25 a minute to talk dirty to him and was a needy client with an unusual kink for yoga pants, according to one of the women. Noem, the longtime husband of the former Homeland Security Secretary, was exposed this week for living a cross-dressing double life in the bimbofication fetish scene after the Daily Mail published salacious photos of Noem with massive fake breasts. That is another one if you ever forget it. If you ever forgot the picture, here's another one. Lydia Love, a webcam model on the campsite Cam Soda, definitely remembers Noem's face, but said there's no way I could ever forget the fake boob. She told the Times of London of the 56-year-old father of three who was one of her regular clients. Damn. Ooh, she cute. The cam girl said Noem liked to play the submissive role in the chats, where he paid up to $25 a minute to women to talk dirty to him. He would try to talk more feminine. His kink was yoga pants. Love, who is what's called a femdom in online community, told the Times. He wanted to be the star of the show and really show off. I would hype him up. If you're getting paid $25 a minute, of course you would. Oh man. Specifically, he liked to wear yoga pants and a tight shirt. And as Love ordered him to bend over, spank himself, and flaunt what she called the largest prosthetic breasts she has ever seen. She described Noem as an extremely needy client who needed ample praise and feedback. He could be frustrating during chat sessions, which typically lasted about 10 minutes, she said, because he was not very good at being submissive. Oh, damn. I guess that's why he was really into it. He was trying to practice it. He was trying to be good at it. The problem is that he was constantly trying to direct the cam girls to tell him what to do. If you want to be dominated by a woman, let me dominate you. Why are you telling me to tell you to do all this? She told the Daily Beast. But what stands out the most, she said, is the comically large balloon breasts that were plastered all over the news this week, and what immediately led to her to recognize Noem when the leaked photos began circulating online. There's a tweet of her confirming, when this news broke, I recognized him as one of my clients because I've never seen a sissy sub have I have never seen a sissy sub have bigger knockers on than him. Insanity. Love does not believe Noem could hide his unique fetish from his wife, which is typical in her experience with married clients. He didn't just wake up 2 years ago and start talking to cam girls about wanting to be a woman. A lot of the wives know, and either they're in denial or they have a really secretive partner. The adult star suspected Noem may have been trying to emulate his wife, who has been open about undergoing cosmetic surgeries in the past. A lot of the time, these sissy guys want to be the women that they are in relationships with and look like them. She also suspects Noem could have wanted his secret life to be exposed because a lot of the sissies are into blackmail fetish too. Oh my God. Guys, he's getting off to this as we're speaking. This is crazy. Not only he was getting off in secret, these models, but now that imagine the orgasms he's having right now. Now that the story is out and circulating, he's fucking coming out of his brains, dude. Holy shit. Noem paid for Love's webcam services between 10 and 15 times over an 18-month period. She recalls with their last encounter happening about 6 months ago. That tracks. It's probably money dried up probably after that. Noem mentioned that he was married but never revealed his wife to be the former head of the Department of Homeland Security, who said she never let him talk about his marriage. Love said she never let him talk. I shut that down. I didn't want to talk about it. We mainly chatted in small talk. He would say, today wasn't the best, but I'm excited for right now. Oh boy. Oh boy. What is happening, bruh? What is happening? We got some reactions from X, formerly known as Twitter. Let's go through a couple of them. This is from Link Lauren. I don't know most of these people, all right? I'm not on Twitter. So we're just reading them, just trying to see what some people are saying. Let's just try to gauge, and then I'll give you guys my take at the end. The liberals making fun of Kristi Noem's husband right now have spent the last 10 years telling us men can be women, men should be in women's sports, and that trans people are the pinnacle of beauty. Now they're upset with someone cross-dressing. I don't think anybody's upset. I think we're laughing at them. Nobody's upset but Kristi Noem. Even Bryon Noem's not upset. He's coming, man. He's coming hard right now. So yeah, I don't know about the narrative of upset. Everybody's just laughing at him. That's their party platform. Just saying, it's not my cup of tea at all, but the hypocrisy stands out to me. Yeah, this part right here. This was actually got me really interested. We're not making fun of him. We're making fun of MAGA hypocrisy. In May 2023, as governor of South Dakota, she publicly called for banning drag shows on public university and college campuses. In a letter to South Dakota Board of Regents, she wrote, next, the Board of Regents should prohibit drag shows from taking place on university campuses. Gender theories can and should be debated in college classrooms, but these divisive theories shouldn't be celebrated through public performances on taxpayer-owned property as taxpayer-funded schools. Meanwhile, your husband is sending taxpayer money to these models while dressed as a bimbo. This is hilarious. Do you consider him to actually be trans? If so, it seems you are reducing trans to nothing more than a cross-dressing fetish. I don't consider him at all. That's hilarious. He can pretend to be a fish for all I care. Oh man. Oh man. That's funny. That's funny. This is a couple of couple of Twitter reactions. Kristi Noem, Alex Preddy was a terrorist. Bryon Noem subplot. Jeez. Oh man, that's a good one. Kristi Noem's husband while she's out attacking drag queens. That's so real. There's a little edit for everybody and me right now. Not me. This guy right now. Oh man. Let's see what else is out there. This is hilarious. This is awesome. He's probably thinking about other women. I wish I had tits. That's a good one. Let's see. Interesting to see so many liberals suddenly making fun of a man pretending to be a woman. So this is like a who's got the most drag queens and trans people in their party type thing, I guess. How can I make this about liberals? Nobody is kink shaming Kristi Noem's husband. If he wants to dress up like that, more power to him. It's the hypocrisy of it happening in yet another Christian conservative family by someone who'd probably publicly persecute someone else for doing the same. Kristi Noem's husband exposed in shocking cross-dressing and fetish scandal, praying for her strength. This is deeply disturbing and heartbreaking. Kristi Noem's husband, Bryon Noem, has been exposed by the Daily Mail for allegedly living a secret double life, sending photos of himself cross-dressing with giant fake breasts. It's still hilarious as you read it out loud, dude. And trading explicit busty bimbo fetish content with online accounts. Reports claim he spent thousands feeding his obsession while his wife served at the highest levels of government. Can we please have sane, stable people in politics and public life? The hypocrisy and hidden chaos behind the scenes is getting exhausted. Praying for Kristi. Why are we praying? Praying for what? Praying that they get marriage counseling? Like, why are we praying? Nobody's dead. This is just hilarious. This has to be devastating for her and their family after 34 years of marriage. After 34 years, if you don't know your husband's like this, like, come on now. But allegedly, she also was messing around. So at some point, they both doing their own thing and not really paying attention to the other person. No one deserves this kind of private betrayal splashed across the headlines. May God give her strength, clarity, and peace in the middle of it all. Time to demand better from those who seek power. Personal integrity still matters. Very interesting. Very interesting by all accounts. And there's some claims that this is not true. Marco Rubio finding out he has to be Kristi Noem's husband. He be looking good though. Marco Rubio be looking good in that. That's hilarious. All right, what have we learned today? What's the moral of the story is? Well, number one, you're never as anonymous online as you think you are. So if you are doing something questionable, I would either stop right now and not continue anymore, or maybe try to see if you can hide your identity in a more sufficient way. As for all of this, as for all these pictures and all these things that's been happening, it's just funny to me. It's just funny to me that this all happened in such a short period of time. Kristi Noem got kicked out, got fired, then this dropped. It's the timing of everything is a little too convenient for whoever didn't like Kristi Noem. I'm not saying like Democrats and liberals who didn't like Kristi Noem. I'm pretty sure there might have been some internal enemies that she was making inside the government. Because based on the reports that was coming out, there were certain leaks that not everybody was happy with the way Homeland Security was operating. And in public, they were defending Homeland Security and they were defending her. But in private, there definitely was some rumblings of conflict between Kristi Noem and other high-level government members. So I'm leaning towards that this could be just this is a very coordinated effort to destroy their reputation. And I mean, they didn't have much of a reputation to begin with, especially Kristi Noem. So this is just fuel to the fire. That's it from me today. See you guys next time.